Viewer discretion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm JJ. That is Deacon, and we are your two dads. We meet here Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning. We drink coffee. We talk about the news. We talk politics. We talk movies, entertainment, culture, pop culture, comic books, werewolves, aliens, trannies, transmissions. We talk Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
Like Skittles.
Oh, taste that rainbow.
The good. Yum.
Taste that rainbow.
Man.
It'll make you
like
only
to
a little
have a
gay.
handful of Skittles right now.
No.
And when you
really
eat, I told my son when he was in middle school, I was like, I'm the king of the loogies. You know a loogie? You know, a loogie? Yeah, I'm the king of the loogie distance spitting. And in middle school, I'm the middle school king. No one's ever been able to beat me in middle school.
Yeah, in middle school.
Yeah, in middle school. So I've told him the key to that is you got to drink like a
sugar
root beer, or you got to eat like a handful of Skittles. A handful of Skittles, and you can go for a mile.
You believe in yourself, and you can achieve anything, Deacon.
Thanks, JJ. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, sir. Good morning. I'm good. I for the last week or so, I've had like a crick in my neck, dude. You ever sleep like that? I mean, I know you barely can sleep anyway, but you ever like wake up and you're like, oh my God. And you can't, you what can you do about it? Go to a masseuse, I guess, maybe.
You go to a chiropractor or masseuse, yeah. You can get one of those little things that have your wife.
I have a percussion machine thing or whatever. All it does is rattle my head and make my vision go blurry. Beating on my neck.
But it's a Christmas gift, and you'll start being able to buy those in 2 months.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to talk.
Morning,
There's a train going by.
Got a train. All right. Morning, everybody. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for showing up. If this is your first time checking out our show, please hit like, subscribe. You can always ditch us later. You're not going to hurt my feelings. And we appreciate you participating in the chat. But if you will also leave a comment on the video, it really makes me feel good about myself. All right. Deke is on the phone. This morning, we got a bunch of different kinds of news stories. We don't exactly have a nice narrative thread to weave, but we have a bunch of news. We've got news about Trump's indictment. We've got news about Kamala Harris being like a cackling witch. We've got news about Hawaii, I believe. We've got news about flying extraterrestrial gold miners or something. I don't know.
This is a cool one.
And we got
the Julian Sands story,
Yeah, we got to talk about Julian Sands. And apparently the guys from the movie Blindside got blindsided by the NFL guy.
Well, y'all
don't love me anymore.
There's parts of this story that I'm not we're not going to defend anyone.
I don't have a position on it.
We want to present to you information that the mainstream media is not presenting to you. That also makes a point in the argument. So we will tell you what you're going to be hearing all day long, but we are also going to give you a piece of information that you can throw away if you want to, or you can be like, oh, well, that's kind of pertinent. That the mainstream media is leaving out. Now, we'll get into that.
We'll talk about all of that. But before we can do any of that, we gotta get some culture up in here. And as we do every morning, Deke is going to provide us with the soundtrack of our lives and a song of the day.
Our song of the day today, you probably may have heard this one before, JJ.
All right.
So if you'll go to our Discord server is the looky there.
It's up there.
Right there. See it? If you go there and go to our Discord server, there's Deke's playlist. If you'll go down, you'll see that I added another song. This week we're doing Kentuckians. People from Kentucky who have made it big in music. So yesterday was Loretta Lynn. I'm adding a bonus song every day. I thought about doing this today, so I added one for yesterday this morning. It's a bonus song about Kentucky. So there's a bonus song by Dan Tominski on there called Keep Your Eye on Kentucky. That's a real cool song so check out. So today's Kentuckians you may have heard of are called Cage the Elephant. You ever heard of Cage the Elephant?
I've never heard of this.
You ain't never heard of Ain't No Rest for the Wicked, JJ? So this song,
never heard that.
This song first came, I was telling my son about this not too long ago.
Oh, wait, no. I just don't know the name.
Yeah, you know.
I think I know this song.
Yeah. This song first came to everyone's attention with the game Borderlands. The game Borderlands came out, and it had such a unique artwork for this first-person shooter, and it had such a unique artwork that the very beginning of that game is them riding in a bus, and it's like a little animated scene, and this song is behind it, and it was the first time I'd ever heard it.
Dancing.
It
was a little
great.
robot.
Yeah. Man, so Cage the Elephants from Bowling Green, they're brothers, and then some other folks that are in there. But I always liked their name. Came from their lead singer, Matt, one of the brothers. This mentally deranged guy, this mentally disturbed man, came up to them after a show and was like, "You have to cage the elephant. You have to cage the elephant," because they were going by another name at the time. So. Brilliant. That was brilliant. And that name, Cage the Elephant, is brilliant. It's a brilliant rock and roll name. So
I guess
check out, you've probably heard this song, but if you haven't heard it in a while, it's a perfect time to hear it again from some Kentucky people.
That's good. I wish we could play it in the background for just a minute while we talk over it.
It's a great song. Yeah.
I like this.
And all right. Okay. Not too far from me. It's a home of Western Kentucky University.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, now it is the time to get them. Where's our little thing at? Is it here? It is. Some news you can trust from some men you can't.
Did you show your wonderful title card yet, JJ?
Oh yeah, I showed it at the beginning. But today's episode title: Trump indicted again, but everybody knows it's fake. So. He's got to get 6 more, I think. And I don't know if he can. He's already got
I think he's
78, 88 charges,
6 more.
Something like that. But he's got to get 6 more, and then he gets a free presidency.
I believe in him. I think he can. I think he can get 6 more indictments.
I don't know.
It's fun to watch. I'm enjoying the show.
I mean, we are definitely witnessing. If it wasn't Trump, if it was anybody else, you'd be up in arms. Everybody would be up in arms. A lot of people are upset about it. This is the government weaponizing the justice system to take out a rival because they can't they can't beat him in a debate. You get on a debate stage with Trump, and it's not like he has better points than you. He just makes you look like a fucking idiot. If
you will listen to how they are, the mainstream media is presenting these stories, listen to their voice when they are presenting these stories, and they're reading the stories like this, JJ, but then they start reading the stories about Biden's son, Hunter, and some of the allegations that are with Hunter. And do you see how my voice has kind of changed a little bit?
Gets softer.
I'm not so much, authoritarian when I'm reading this too. I've kind of gotten a little softer so that I'm subconsciously telling you that you should feel soft about this as well. Right. I was listening to that this morning, and they used a word, an adjective using they were talking about the Trump stuff, and then they went into talking about like 3 stories later.
Right.
They went into talking about the Hunter stuff. And if you don't think that is purposefully set up that way, you're wrong. Okay. They put the stories first. They put some sandwich shit in there, some condiments that you really don't care about. And then they put another story hidden way down deep that you won't even see because you're already bored from these other 2 stories in front of you. Yeah. But then they talked about Hunter and they used an adjective in there.
Spoke to people on January 6th and somehow incited a riot before he was done speaking. But Hunter Biden does
really
hose and crack and sleeps with his dead brother's wife. And Don't be upset about that. All right.
Goodness.
All right. So, Donald Trump and 18 co-defendants are indicted on 41 charges. So he was already at 70. Sorry, he was already at 78. So 41. So this is like 119 charges. How many charges is that? That's a lot of charges. The grand jury in Georgia returned 10 indictments on Monday in Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis's investigation into former President Donald Trump. The 98-page indictment revealed that Trump and 18 co-defendants were indicted. One of the interesting things about this entire ordeal is that while the you know how grand jury works, right? I'm sure you know, Deke. Let's
explain it for
just in case we have like a mentally damaged viewer. So a district attorney has some accusations that you did something wrong, and then they take their case and their evidence and some of it and their charges, and they present that before a grand jury, a jury of people selected, and they sit before a judge, but the district attorney presents the evidence to the jury and says, "Jury, do you agree? Should we charge these people with a crime or not?" And the grand jury gets to decide, you know what? I don't think so. Or, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And while the grand jury was deliberating, which you would think with logics and things like that, you would think that the order of operations would be attorney presents material, grand jury talks, decides, and then returns like an indictment, yes or no. But instead, while the grand jury was still kind of talking about it, the district attorney filed the charges, got the indictments assigned to a court, got a court date, accidentally published them on the court website, and then took it down. And that didn't happen. So is this a legitimate indictment before the grand jury's even done their job?
But the Biden sheep are already like, we got him. We finally got him. You got what and who for what?
Right. So, also indicted in Tuesday were some of Trump's co-defendants. There's some names on here you may recognize. There's Senator Sean Still, attorneys John Eastman, Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis, Bob Cheeley, Ray Smith III, Kenneth Chesebro, former U.S. Attorney General Jeffrey Clark, GOP strategist Michael Roman, former county election supervisor Misty Hampton. It sounds like they're indicting Trump and his lawyers and basically anybody that talked to him for, and you know what the crime is? Here's the crime.
Okay.
Georgia election crime.
Yeah.
Breach of the election systems. Breach.
That son of a bitch.
I know.
He needs to be hung from the tallest tree. That motherfucker.
Yeah. You know how the Trump team breached him, which this is some clever shit. So here's how the Trump team breached the election system. They heard that there were like some duplicate votes. And so Trump's lawyers got on the phone with like the election supervisor for, I guess, maybe Fulton County, something like that, and said, "Hey, we heard there's some hinky stuff. Can we come look?" And the guy answered the phone and was like, "Yeah, y'all can come look here." And he wrote a letter. "You're invited to come look." That's how they breached it. He just asked.
I don't care about any of these indictments. They don't bother me in the least because the same shit happened on Biden's side when he stole the election and everybody thinks we're fucking stupid. But then when one fucking guy says, "I think some Republicans done this stuff down in Georgia," then everybody in the whole goddamn country is like, "Oh my God, look!" When we've been trying to show you for a fucking 3 years that this shit's been happening, and you've just been going, la, 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 la. That's how polarized we've become in this country.
Yeah.
Republicans and Democrats cannot talk to each other. I tried to talk to a kid over the weekend at this Comic-Con that was volunteering. And I don't even remember what we got in. We were sitting up front while the people come in, and there was me, there was my buddy's wife that was sitting over there, and there was this kid who was their nephew, and he said something about, I don't remember what it was, and I was like, "Oh, they're trying to control you," blah 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 blah. So it's the same with the gas. You know, they're trying to control you with the gas stoves and the gas this, the water heaters. They're trying to get rid of that, blah, blah. He was like, well, if it's hurting people, then I don't mind them taking it away. I said, it's not hurting people. I said, if it's hurting people, then people don't know how to use gas. He goes, well, then a lot of people must not know how to use gas. I said, a lot of people don't know how to use gas, but the people that do know how to use gas understand that it's a freaking lifesaver when the fucking electricity goes out. You still have heat in your house. How does that work? It's magic. If you've got a gas stove, you still can cook food and you still can have hot water. It's super duper magic. It's because the government doesn't have control. But once the government takes that away, it takes away control. And he just would not buy that.
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell him there's an example with the FCC and what they've done with radio stations after when Obama took over and all this crap. And he would not buy that at all. I'm like, dude, I've been in radio for 30 years. You have no clue about some of this stuff that I've had to deal with for 30 years. And he was just kind of like, he would not accept. So I finally got up and walked off. And then my buddy's wife came up afterwards and she saw me and she was like, please don't let him. He is a far left liberal. We don't like him in the family. He won't listen to anybody, blah, 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 blah. She was like, please don't let that discourage you because you were exactly right. I was just biting my tongue on everything you said.
Man.
Well, what I'm getting at is there's no discussion anymore.
No.
20 years ago, if me and you differed on political opinions, we could have a civil conversation.
We could talk. We could be like, hey, I don't agree that that's our priorities of spending. I don't agree that's how we should be taxing. Or we should have taxes, but what percent and how much and how should we allocate the money and what's important to us as a society. Can't do that now. You either are a part of the cult or you're not. You either obey, you're in the part of the obedience cult.
And the media has branded Republicans so bad. There was a story that I saw on Reddit today when I was browsing through trying to look for stories, and it was like it had nothing to do with Republicans. And the headline was pretty vicious, cute, it was, I don't remember what it was. But the picture was a woman standing there in front of a sign that said Republican Party. And I'm like, it's stuff like that is how they brainwash our children and the lesser educated and the uneducated of political stuff is they show you a headline, they show you a picture and they say, and that's it. They flash it across Facebook real quick underneath a Barbie which Barbie character are you?
So crazy, right? All right. Nobody considers this. That's not true. I'm saying it. I don't consider these indictments, any of these cases, to be of merit. But
no,
the whole thing is just to grind Donald Trump's election campaign to the ground. So we'll have to just see how it shakes out. I don't know. We've got some other political news. Do we have any updates on the Maui fires and stuff? Because
the only thing that I have on the Maui fires was where was it at? We talked about that yesterday. Did we show some of the?
I think we saw a photo or something, but I've seen some aerial video, since then, and it is devastating. Los Angeles.
I've seen some conspiracy stuff is starting to come out. There's some Oprah Winfrey conspiracy stuff that's starting to come out that's pretty damning. She's we might get to that in a minute into the conspiracy stuff. So and when you see these some of this aerial footage, right. They're starting to show this aerial footage now. Let me see if I'm pulling up this one video right here to see if it's I think it okay, yeah, no. If you'll watch some of the aerial videos, a lot of the billionaires' houses and rich people's houses are completely fine. And right next door are these places that are completely burned down to the ground. Annihilated. And I mean it's just
Here's some.
It poses some questions. I'm not going to jump on the conspiracy train, but I am going to say that it does.
Look how bad this is, though. Look at this.
Questions.
I mean, like huge areas. Apparently, like an entire 25% of Lahaina.
See, they're not showing you all of it. See, there's this. This is the exact same images. There's that same bus that they just showed a second ago. They're showing you the same images, and they're not showing you the whole picture of Lahaina. Because if you look at it, you'll notice there's some areas, some little splotches that are green, and it's completely surrounded by scorched earth. And that little spot that's green, that's Ellen DeGeneres's house. And that big splotch right there that's green, that's Oprah Winfrey's house. And that's who was all the other ones? All those other, every one of those people that have houses there, he was like, look, all these people have had pictures made with Jeffrey Epstein. Every damn.
I honestly that seems like a coincidence to me. It's but that's the thing about coincidences. They look like a pattern because we see patterns, but I mean, I'm seeing a bunch of burned up part of town, and then there's some green here on the border, but there's lots of
they keep showing you in different angles. They're not showing you the whole island.
Retaining wall, and there's water. It's right on the edge, so it's not like they're in the middle. These places that are not burned are on the border, on the periphery.
Yeah, they're not showing you those other spots because that shows stop, go back. Right there.
Yeah.
You could see it back there in the background. Go back.
Where? Over here?
Yeah, keep going back
right there.
A little bit. Look. I mean, look at the green back there. Look at the green right there on the coast. Right there's green.
Yeah.
Look, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom,
we got
boom,
one house that didn't get burned, but
look at that. Everything else right there is burned. Now keep going
for
down.
Sure.
Keep going. There was another one down there. Look, they started to blur right there on the very edge of the left where they start to that because it was green right there. You see it? It's freaking. You can see that it's green.
Yeah. But look, I mean, everywhere in the middle
else there is burned. But so I'm just pointing out that fire is very selective. It only burns the poor people's houses in Lahaina, and it doesn't burn the rich people's houses.
I mean, but that's not that surprising when the rich people are on the coast, and the coast it helps. Fight the fire a little bit.
Those houses right there that your cursor is on.
These are all burned up, and there's only one here that's not burned up on right there. But I mean, honestly, that can just
house.
It just fire does that stuff sometimes.
It just doesn't because my house I've lost everything that I own.
That's true. I know.
All right? And so I know a little bit about house fire. It's ruined my fucking life. It's ruined my mental, the way that I think now and shit. My brother went around for years and unplugged shit. When Dad would go to bed at night and everybody go to bed, Logan would get up in the middle of the night and go unplug the TV and stuff because he was afraid the house was going to catch on fire. So every time he just got used to having everything was unplugged because Logan would get up in the middle of the night and unplug it. It messed with us. And I just think that there's something that's not being told. We're not getting the whole story on something is weird.
I'm sure, but that doesn't mean that it's like, malintent necessarily. That is one of the stories that's out there, and certainly you have every right in the world to be like upset and suspicious, and other people do too, especially if you've lost things and you have family out there.
Ashley's freaking uncle lives on Lahaina. He was he thank God he's okay, but he's lost everything.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. It's definitely horrible. So you would think that that in the wake of this abject, tragic horror, that our leaders would be sympathetic, right? So here we have Kamala Harris giving a little talk, and she's interrupted by a climate protester, a person who is left of her. While she's talking at this event, Vice President Kamala Harris laughed at a climate protester in Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts, who disrupted her weekend remarks to criticize the Biden administration's climate policy in light of the Hawaiian forest fires. Climate change caused the forest fires, says this guy, and their policies caused the climate change. So here's
Madam Vice President Kamala
let's
Harris.
see. Let's zoominate this. This is so important.
We are in a climate emergency, and in the midst of a climate emergency, 80 people have died in Hawaii. 80 people have died. Thousands are displaced through the
Look at her, just
I'm talking. Yes, I hear you, but the planet is burning and people are dying. The planet is burning and people are dying, and we're wondering if you uphold your promises. And then we're in the middle of a climate emergency. You're expanding fossil fuels faster than Trump. Expanding fossil fuels faster than Trump is. Y'all are failing on climate. You are burning the planet with expanding fossil.
He's exactly right.
Future president of the United States, everybody.
The fuck? Jesus Christ. Kill me now.
Hey, look, if your choice is Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, you can't vote for Satan. You have to vote for... Can you vote for Satan? Would Satan be better than Kamala Harris? Probably not, right?
I'm just going to hush.
All right.
Next.
Yeah. We got some more stuff here. Biden's back at it, trying to give away your money. Biden's plan to forgive student debt for over 800,000 borrowers has just been upheld by judge. No. It was dismissed. The case that was being challenged, the new policy. If you remember last year or in 2020, Joe Biden was like, I think it was maybe it was 2022. Joe Biden was like, I'm going to forgive like all this debt. And Congress is like, you can't do that. And people sued. And the Supreme Court was like, you can't do that. And so Joe Biden duped a bunch of dumb people into voting for him because he was going to forgive their debt. And then the Supreme Court threw it out. Well, Biden's back at it with another plan to forgive debt. A federal judge dismissed a lawsuit Monday from a conservative group that's looking to block the student loan forgiveness for 804,000 borrowers because the president doesn't have the authority to just cancel debt. They argued the federal government doesn't have the authority. The district court did not rule on the merits of the case and instead said that Cato and McKinnock were not the right parties to bring the case. So the court threw out the case, and until he's stopped again, your president is going to try to take your money and give it to other people in order to buy votes. So good luck with that. It's going to be good. I'm sure it'll be challenged again. And, we've got Biden border policies. Our current border policy is no border. That's our current policy. Just come on in.
Come on in. We're cool.
Come on in.
Yeah, come on in.
This year, border agents have seized enough lethal drugs this fiscal year to kill, are you listening?
Yeah.
To kill more than 6 billion people. Do you know how many people live on Earth?
Yeah, 8
billion people.
Yeah.
Enough lethal fentanyl has crossed the United States border this fiscal year.
Isn't that awesome?
To kill 75% of humanity. But hey, just come on in, y'all. Come on in.
But that's isn't fentanyl what they make what they use for the fake opioid pills and shit like that?
Yeah, that's how you cut stuff up. You cut it up with fentanyl, get you high quicker or whatever. I don't know. Look, I'm not trying to get killed. The amount of lethal doses they've seized in fentanyl, methamphetamine, and cocaine is enough to kill the U.S. population 19 times over.
Wow.
Yeah, 22,000 pounds of fentanyl at ports of entry everywhere in the country. And 175,000 pounds of methamphetamine and 70,000 pounds of cocaine. And probably not that many pounds of that were going straight to Hunter anyway. So, all right. That's the...
I got you a story, JJ. We talked about this yesterday. You got any more political stories?
No. There's just the Judge HP story, but I don't know how you're going to weave that one in there. Printers.
No, we'll talk about it.
All right.
So yesterday we said we were going to mention this story about
yes,
about Julian Sands, his remains. We mentioned a while ago that he was missing, and his remains were found in June by some hikers 6 months after he was reported missing. And these hikers have told their story about finding the body. They said they were about 3 hours into their ascent on Mount Baldy when they discovered a boot followed by another boot further up the mountain. Then they found trekking poles and then bones, and later came across a pile of dark winter clothes nearby with a pocket containing a wallet with a driver's license that displayed Sand's face. So they couldn't even identify him. All right. Here's where it's weird. He was dressed like a ninja, one of the hikers recalled to the Times off of the clothing found. Strapped to one of Sand's boots were a set of micro spikes, which are typically used for shallow, snowy trails. I was a little shocked to see the micro spikes, he told the outlet. They were just the wrong tools for the job at hand. So they also found his cell phone was discovered on a rock under a tree, though the hikers couldn't find any signal where they discovered his remains. You couldn't have a signal on the right there. No backpack was found with the remains as well, they said. Weird, huh?
Well, okay, so I believe we talked about this in January as he went missing, because I'm familiar with Julian Sands. I remember watching a couple of his movies when I was a lot younger, and I was kind of like a little sad to hear that he had gone missing, and then they never found him. Obviously they just found him last month. So he was in January, but he was in California or something like that. So I don't know how snowy it gets in California or that time of year. The micro spikes, I don't know anything about that. Maybe that's appropriate at that time of year. Dressed like a ninja, though, what do you think that means? I can't mean he was wearing like an actual ninja costume. He probably was just bundled up.
Probably bundled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
They were saying they thought that he probably, I don't know, he couldn't get a signal out there.
I don't know. Maybe he tripped and fell down or hit his head on a rock, or he could have had a heart attack. I mean, he was an older guy. We just don't know. And
the cause of death is ruled undetermined due to the condition of the body. This is common when dealing with cases of this type.
Just bones. That's pretty awful. Good grief. Well, condolences to the Sands family. I think he had some boys. I think he had maybe 3 or 4 boys, and they more or less had resigned themselves to knowing that this was what happened some time ago. But it's not good. I mean, at least they found the body, and they have some closure, and it's no longer an unknown. Sometimes the unknowns can drive you mad when coping with the facts can, let you deal with stuff.
Me and my cousin used to watch Warlock. We liked
that. Warlock.
Yeah, it was a cool movie.
Yeah.
They make a number 2. They make a part 2.
I don't know. It wasn't that good a movie. It was just like an 80s like horror schlock movie,
Yeah.
Let's see. We got an update on the Zuckerberg Elon Musk cage match.
Oh yeah.
I hope you've been super excited about it.
Okay, I am. I've got my bets placed.
Yeah, Zuck is backing out. Zuckerberg's backing out.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, but he's making it sound like it's Elon's fault because he's saying, well, Elon never agreed to a date or a time, and if he's serious, well, he can get back to me. Otherwise, we should just move on. And Elon, on the other hand, has been like, I booked us like a Coliseum in Italy. and then Elon was like, I'll come over to your house right now. Let's just like throw down in the backyard. And Zuck's like, you're not being serious. And Elon's like, what are you talking about? I'll come over right now. I will come knock on your door.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Let me find a video. I'm going to show you what this is. Okay. This is a Facebook video. Okay. This is what Elon and them. Crap. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. This is what this is. I know. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time this morning. Here we go. This is what this is. Look, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm cool. What's up, bro?
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
We're just playing.
That's cool.
Yeah. So obviously, Elon.
I'll come over to your house right now, and I'm gonna have a Coliseum. Exactly.
I mean, I will agree that Elon doesn't seem to be taking it too seriously, but he was like approaching it like, oh, this will be fun. Like this will be a fun thing for us to do. And also everybody can come jump on Twitter and we'll put it on Twitter. It'll be fun. And Zuck is like, I'm trying to be an MMA badass. Like, Zuckerberg, you dork. Anyway, so the cage fight appears to be over. We have a good summary of things right here on Twitter. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here's a summary. An X post. Here's a good summary. Doge Designer says, Zuck, I want to fight. Zuck, send me the location. Elon, okay, let's fight Monday in your octagon. Zuck, no, we should move on. And then Elon Musk replied, yep, that's pretty much how it went. That's pretty much how it went. All right. So who knows? Okay, what's up? Why do we have a printer story in the news? News?
Because I just wanted to bring this to your attention and people's attention. We don't have to have a lengthy discussion, but you pulled it up. Yeah. Okay, so this judge has denied this plea. Did you know that if you have a HP all-in-one printer, that when it runs out of ink, you can't fax or you can't copy on it? It stops. It locks up the machine when you're out of ink.
Yeah, I think so.
You can't fax or you can't do anything
like that. Which is inconvenient if you don't have any ink and you need to scan something.
Yeah, scan and fax is what it was. It wasn't copy. It was scan and fax when you don't have ink. Yeah, it locks it up. And the people are saying that this is bullshit and that Hewlett Packard basically misrepresented their product. And this judge has it's up against this, in court. And this judge has basically told Hewlett Packard to kiss my ass. We're not throwing this case out. This is going forward. So this is really good for Hewlett. I mean, for everybody else, but I mean, Hewlett Packard's not going to end up, if they end up paying money, everybody's going to get what, 50 cents? Ashley got some letter from some lawsuit not too long ago, and it was like 12 cents or something.
Yeah. So
I hope this really makes a difference to the multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah. Apparently Canon was sued exactly the same way for the same reasons in 2021. And then they just settled the case out of court. So somebody got a payoff. So I don't know if this
some
is a class
lawyers got a payoff is who it was. It was a bunch of lawyers got a payout.
Now I can understand the inconvenience, but it also makes a lot of sense. If you're making a printer and it runs out of ink, you would be like, hey, stop using this and put some more ink in if that's what it needs. Now the scan part, it doesn't need that, but
scan doesn't need ink and the fax doesn't need ink.
Right.
So
but
why does it lock up the whole machine?
Because they got to write the firmware to act differently based on what you're doing. Instead, they just put one startup check at the beginning.
You write the firmware then.
I guess. I guess
you have an inferior product. I'll just make a product. I'll just make a product that does the exact same thing that your product does, except mine will allow you to scan and fax when you run out of ink. Is what I'll do, and then we'll see what happens.
Well, I think you should.
It's a capitalist. It's a capitalist market, isn't it? Can't I make a company?
Absolutely, you should.
The does the exact same thing that yours does, except scans and faxes when you run out of ink.
But I'm pretty sure my brother printer does the same thing. Like if it's out of ink, it ain't working.
Hewlett Packard is what I'll call mine.
Do it. All right. So Deke, we got a story about a family that got blindsided by. Hey, remind me to put some rim shots on my. Yeah, I need a rim shot in here.
Yeah, you'll hear this story coming out today, all over the news. This guy, I never watched this movie, and I don't know how to say these freaking people's name. Tuoi, I don't know. But this guy, I never watched this movie, but I know about the story, and I've read these articles. Yeah. So he,
I never watched it either. I don't watch football movies, but I know about it.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't watch sports movies normally. But he was the kid who was like 18 before he turned 18. he went to college, and this white family adopted him, and he was poor and allowed him to go to college, and he became a professional football player and all this stuff, and he made millions. They made this movie with Sandra Bullock called Blindsided and all this and whatnot. And so he's coming out today saying that he was tricked into all this shit, and this white family has made money off of him. And some of the things that he is saying, if it does have merit, then yes, he does need to be. He says that he hasn't made much off the movie, and that he deserves this, and he deserves this, and he deserves this. And I completely agree that if that is the case, that he does deserve some money off this. But there is a part of the story that's not being told. And they probably won't tell it because it's coming from the father of the couple that adopted him. His name is Sean. And he come out and said that he calls the allegations insulting. Hours after the news broke that Michael Oher, whose life was the topic of Oscar-winning movie The Blind Side, filed a 14-page petition in probate court which states that he wasn't adopted, the man who took the former NFL and Ole Miss defensive lineman in is shocked. We're devastated. Now, I'm not taking up, before I read this, I'm not taking up for this. I'm just reading.
This is his claim. His claim.
This is his claim.
The football
that the mainstream media will not give you today.
Yeah.
He says, we're devastated. Tahoe told the Daily Memphis newspaper. It's upsetting to think that we would make money off of any of our children, but we're going to love Michael at 37, just like we loved him at 16. Or 37 filed a petition Monday, August 14th, alleging that when he was 18, the Tahoe family tricked him into signing a document making them conservators and that they made millions off a lie. The petition alleges that the Tahoes made deals that made them and their birth children millions in royalties from the movie, or, on the other hand, got nothing, he says, that would not have existed without him. Tahoe was an All-American point guard at Ole Miss. The father was an All-American point guard at Ole Miss, and he said the conservatorship was a way to appease the NCAA during the days leading up to his college football decision. So let me explain something to you that I know about football or about collegiate sports.
All right.
It's very complicated. It's just as complicated as NFL shit. Okay. So they have rules over everything. And he says that as a supporter of Ole Miss athletics, Tahoe would qualify as a booster under NCAA rules. Michael was obviously living with us for a long time, and the NCAA didn't like that, Tahoe said. They said the only way Michael could go to Ole Miss was if he was actually a part of the family. I sat Michael down and told him, if you're planning to go to Ole Miss or even considering Ole Miss, we think you have to be a part of the family. This would do that legally. We contacted lawyers who told us that we couldn't adopt over the age of 18. The only thing we could do was have a conservatorship. So we were so concerned it was on the up and up that we made sure the biological mother came to court. Tahoe said the family will end the conservatorship if that's what Oher wants. So it sounds to me like this guy's like, what the fuck, dude? We did all this shit for you. If this is what you want, okay. It's not seeming like, I don't know, but then I don't know any more about this. Where did all this money from the movies go? And I'm sure
is this dude now 37. Why they don't need a conservatorship over him at 37? You know, he's a grown-ass man now.
Goes on to say, as far as making millions, Tahoe contends, as per Daily Memphian, he didn't need money after selling most of his fast food franchises for more than $200 million. We didn't make any money off the movie, Tahoe said. Well, Michael Lewis, the author of the book The Blind Side, gave us half of his share. Everybody in the family got an equal share, including Michael. It was about $14,000 each. We were never offered money. We never asked for money. My money is well documented. You can look it up how much I sold my company for. He said, I didn't need $40,000 from the movie. I will say it's upsetting that people would think I would want to make money off of my children, he said. as a dad, I kind of got to give this guy.
So here's what I understand. In order to benefit I think his name is I don't know, for him to be able to have a better ability to get into the school and be a booster, whatever that is, he had to be part of the family. That was a legacy. You know, his father was from Old Miss, but he couldn't adopt him because he was over 18. So the only thing they could do,
he was going to be over 18. Yeah.
So the only thing they could do was establish a conservatorship, which establishes some sort of relationship and allows him to get in. Now so correct, he was never adopted because apparently he was too old to be adopted according to Tennessee law. Now,
but we know how Hollywood does.
Yeah,
we know what Hollywood does.
Yeah,
it changes to tell the story.
And
that dude's writing a book
now,
so of course he's going to change it to tell the story. And I'm sure that family was like, okay, that's fine. If you're going to do it, that's fine. And he knew it the whole time. And now this movie's been out. This movie didn't just fucking come out. How many years? How many decades ago?
9? Was it 2009?
I started to say this movie's been out 20 years.
Yeah. So, all right. Now, that being said, if he still has a conservatorship over him and it grants them legal or financial authority over him, and he's 30-something.
What's up with that? Yeah, he's 37. That almost makes me want to go, okay, weird. Is this a Britney Spears type thing?
Why are y'all doing this?
Actually need to be this? Or does this guy have some mental problems? Because did he have mental problems to start with? I don't know. I didn't watch the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was slow. I don't know if he was.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know anything about him. And other than he's making a certain claim in the media and in court right now, which is this family done me wrong. When and maybe that's true, but the father has another side of the story, which is no, we didn't do him wrong. We did what we could for him.
That's not going to be told.
Yeah,
and if it's told, it's going to be buried with the 8th story down. So I just wanted to bring it to
you. For sure. All right. Now we have our most important story of the day, in my opinion, Deacon.
Yeah.
There are some reports, and I have a video here. There are some reports that there has been some unusual activity in Peru. And here is, let's see, I think, this is.
You got the flying alien video?
I got some video here. Have a look. Check this out.
Okay. All right.
See that right there? See that?
Alien.
It kind of looks like somebody shining a flashlight at a tent or maybe a tree. Kind of looks like a tree. Now, according to the internet, that is not a tree, sir. It's a flying alien. It's a flying alien. Right. But it turns out that the Peruvian flying aliens may actually be illegal miners that are hunting for gold. So the miners are flying in on jetpacks hunting for gold. It's not a tree that you're shining a flashlight at.
They're flying in on jetpacks?
Flying aliens
what kind of Scooby-Doo bullshit is this?
Now, let me just say, if I have to choose between space aliens or illegal miners with jetpacks, I'm going to say the illegal miners with jetpacks sounds less absurd. Okay, it just does. It is absurd, but it's not as absurd as people coming from another planet to hide in the
flying
bushes.
Aliens sounds to me. Flying aliens sounds more believable than flying illegal miners with jetpacks. Flying gold miners with jetpacks.
Yeah,
I'm like
digging up gold.
I'm more likely to believe it was grays.
Okay. So on July, this all started on July 11th, which is only last month. Strange beings, the locals said, are visiting an isolated indigenous community in rural Peru at night, harassing inhabitants and attempting to kidnap a 15-year-old girl. These gentlemen are aliens. They seem armored like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. I have shot one twice and it didn't fall. Instead, it elevated and disappeared, says Jairo. I can't say your name, homie. A local leader of the indigenous Itku group living in northwestern Mayas province, who told the Peruvian radio on August 1st, "We were frightened by what is happening in the community. Their color is silver. their shoes are round in shape. And with those, they rise up, they float up 1 meter high, and they have a red light on their heel. Their heads are long, their mask is long, and their eyes are sort of yellow. None of which can you get from the stills of that video that we saw. Like, this doesn't look like anything. This looks like it. I mean, do you see an alien there? I don't know. It just kind of looks like a tarp.
Straight up seeing alien.
Yeah, you're seeing an alien for sure.
Yeah, it looks like a lithid from. Yeah, it looks like a squid head.
Yeah, that kind of looks just like a tarp to me. So
yeah, it's alien.
All right. Well, yeah,
I like this story.
Yeah, this is pretty good. So Christian Kala Payaka, a local teacher who witnessed the attack, said that they were using state-of-the-art technology like thrusters that allow people to fly. He said that after looking the devices up on Google, he believed they were jetpacks. So this guy believes that they're not aliens; they are minors. Carlos,
like little kids?
No, not minors. Minors.
Like little kids?
No,
little kids doing this, JJ? Is that what you're saying?
That would be lighter. It would be easier to fly. The lead investigator on the case said that 80% of illegal gold dredging in the region is located in the Nene River Basin, where their community is located. So they think it's people panning for gold with jetpacks, which
I think that's cool.
This is amazing.
We need to write a movie for this where it's aliens and the villagers think it's aliens and they see all this stuff and then it turns out to be freaking
jetpacks,
illegal miners with jetpacks. All right. I got one more story for you. I wanted to bring this up just real quick because I think this is cool and I'll post. This is one of our stories that I'll post in the Discord server. And if you'll look above JJ's beautiful visage, you will see the Discord server thing. So I'm going to go right up here to, I'll post it in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
For everybody.
And what this was a cool story about China that has developed this breakthrough in laser development, laser weapon development.
We got laser guns.
Expand the show the full article. Why am I expanding the show?
Can you get those on Temu?
Probably. I think you can actually. I saw the China claims to have achieved a huge breakthrough in developing a high-powered laser weapon for military use. Scientists have reportedly developed a state-of-the-art cooling system that allows for the high-energy weapons to fire infinitely. The damaging heat generated during laser operations has been a major technical challenge for militaries, limiting the use of such weapons. With a new cooling system Beijing claims to have developed, the weapons will be able to generate laser beams for as long as they want without interruptions or degradation.
Oh,
that is big. Without interruptions or degradations with this. This could be the reason I wanted to just bring this to the forefront of everybody here. And if you want to read more on this article, is this could be the catalyst for some very, very interesting things in propulsion.
Oh, think so?
Absolutely. This might be what we've needed to get to Mars and back quicker than 3 months.
Are we talking about lasers or the jetpacks?
The lasers, the cooling part, the coolings of the lasers. This cooling thing that they have invented allows these lasers to be fired uninterrupted and continuously for as long as they want. So this might be the forefather of the freaking engines that power, interstellar travel is what I'm getting at. We're able to fire have this energy uninterrupted, and not degrading. That's like Star Trek shit right there, dude.
Yeah.
You've got this beam that's uninterrupted and doesn't degrade.
I wonder if we can start fires with that.
I thought it was a cool story. I just thought it was a really cool story.
Yeah, I mean,
that's China for you.
We'll see what they're doing with it. Do you think the United States has any laser guns? Like
I would.
What do you put laser guns on? Do you put them on a satellite and shoot at the Earth, or do you put them on boats and shoot at other boats?
Both. I had some laser guns, and my buddy had a little helmet, a little thing that he wore, and we would shoot them at each other.
That didn't
like tag
work too well,
lasers.
though. We need more than tag for international conflict. We have to be able to like.
That's probably why China developed this,
so
that they could play laser tag with the United States.
All right.
We
know what we need. We need
every story.
We need a liquid cooled mirror, and we'll just aim it back at them. Believe, reflect. We need mirror armor. I think we went through all the stories, which is pretty. We had a lot of stuff, so I'm pretty impressed. It's joke time, I think, sir. It's joke time.
Yes.
And I have a conference call in 3 minutes, so also keep forgetting about that.
All right. So
Deke, have you ever wondered why you never see elephants in a forest?
Why don't you see elephants in a forest?
Because that's how good they are at hiding.
That's so stupid. That's the dumbest one you've told me yet.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
I got an equally dumb one. All right. My wife had a headache, so she asked me to get her to a leave. So I tell her to sleep with a sister.
All right.
You get it? She asked me to get her to a leave, so I say I go sleep with your sister.
All right. Thank you for watching the show, everybody. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow's jokes are going to be better than today's. Tomorrow's news is going to be better than today's. And tomorrow, Trump will probably get some more indictments.
Probably.
Hopefully. All right. Bye, everybody.